Hi, in this video, I'm going to share my Cognizant interview experience, how it went, and what are the things I have prepared, and that got me selected for the Cognizant. So let's get into the video. So before I'll share my experience, I will tell you what I have prepared for the interview. The first thing is your self-introduction. Self-introduction is so important, you know already, right? Every interview start with the self-introduction, and that's the thing that you already know that they will ask. So you must give your best with it. So what I suggest you to do is you have to cram it up. It's like you should not say it in the interview like you are a robotic, but you must be able to say it as you are confident, the confident gaze. So it gives you a best first impression for the interview. When you do that, they will automatically think you must be best hire for them. So what I'm saying is whenever you get into interview, the first impression is means a lot for them. So if you stuck in a self introduction, it will make a very bad impression on them. So after that, if once you made a bad impression on them, it will be very tough to go build a good impression after some time. So it's very important for you to give a good impression with your self introduction by giving a confident response for that question. So be prepared with the self introduction, very important this one. Now next one, the resume preparation. Resume preparation, I have seen most of the people, and I have done the same mistake, that I have kept the great skills that I wish to have, not what I have. So we may know many skills, right? During our college, we may have learned many skills, but if you don't know them really, like if someone asks you into the particular into the skill, like in Java, they may ask in particular one question, and if you're not able to answer those questions, then you should not put those skills into it. If you kept those skills in the resume, you must be prepared to talk about anything in that skill. Okay, so what I'm saying is at last in your resume you must have the skills that you are confident, and if they ask any question from the skills, you must be able to answer the questions, and only keep those skills. You can answer any kind of questions from them. That's how you must do your resume preparation about the skill part. And interview and also any kind of internship experience in the project, and only put the projects that you have confident on, you can explain about it, and you have some kind of contribution to the project, and that makes it very key. Okay, and that's also makes a good impression. Sometimes first thing in the interview is they just see your resume and check the first thing that comes out of the resume, which is the project that you have done, and they will come to the project and how what you have done in the project. So you must be able to explain that project. So what I'm saying is from the resume side, only put the things that you have already know. If you don't know those things and you kept those in the resume, you must learn those things and go to the interview. Okay, that's about the resume preparation. Now, sometimes interviewer also asks for the resume outside the resume details, like your hobbies, your some kind of volunteer experiences that you might have not kept in the resume. So be prepared for those things, which is the outside resume details, and also the company details. So before going to any kind of in company, you must research about the company, who is the CEO, and what are the company values, and how many workforce the company has. So those are the basic kind of like for the Cognizant, you must know the values, the mission and the vision, and what is the company size, and what are the objectives of the company, and what they're doing now, what are the recent news, what are trends that are going in the company, all of those things. So you must have a basic understanding of the company you are going for the interview. Okay, and also the last thing is questions for the interviewer. So at the end of the interview, every interviewer asks the same question, which is, do you have any questions for me? So you must be curious to ask some questions. So these kind of questions can be prepared before the interview. What I suggest is you prepare at least 2 to 3 questions before the interview, and during the interview you might get some questions about the company or any kind of those things. So first ask the questions that you have got doubt during the interview, and if you didn't get any kind of doubts during the interview, you can just ask the prepared questions. So that's the best way to do that. So if you don't ask questions at the end of the interview, that may leave a bad impression that you are not interested in the joining company. So if you're joining any kind of workforce, you must be some kind of curious about the company, right? So that's what it relates to. So that's what about the preparation. If you had done everything right, now you have got into the interview, you got the chance, you go into the interview. For Cognizant interview for particular, uh, you have to take your laptop to the interview. They will ask you to join to the SuperSet platform, and this interview will happen. This interview will be recorded in the SuperSet platform, and this interview also will be seen by the another recruiter who is in the online. The thing that you are talking, everything will be recorded, and those will be seen and reviewed by the HR. So in Cognizant, there are two types of interviews. You only attend one type of interview, which is technical interview, and the technical interview, the interaction between the you and the interviewer will be reviewed by the HR. So if you have done well in the technical interview, like you have answered all the questions on the interview, but you haven't talked well, you haven't given the confidence for them. So the HR will see those things, and if you're not good with the communication, all of those things, and he will reject you. So it depends. Okay. So you must be confident and be willing to give whatever you have. Coming to my interview experience, so what happened is, for me, I went into the interview with the laptop and everything was there. So I went first, same question, which is tell me about yourself. I said about myself, and he took my resume and he directly looked into my projects. And in my project I have mentioned a team leader. So he asked me questions like, what is a team leader, and what is the difference between a team leader and a manager, and what are the main qualities of a team leader, all of those things. And he also asked questions about my project, some technical questions of the project, what are the skills I have worked on, what are the contribution that I have made. Those are the questions I have asked. And after that, he didn't came to the skill part, but in my previous interview experiences they came to the skill part also. So for my cognizant experience, after that he asked me a reasoning question that if you have already done the written test, have done aptitude reasoning and those things, the reasoning questions that will be asked in the interview will be less difficult than what you have solved in the written test. So and after solved the question, he asked again a basic DSA question like even and odd, if finding even and odd, and also he asked me write a code for prime, even a prime, and also even and odd question. Yeah, both the questions he asked. And he asked me to write the code in Java, because for me my primary skill track is Java, so I have written the code in Java, and that's it. And at the end of the interview he asked me questions on yeah, basic every company asks, which is, are you willing to work in the night shifts, are you willing to go to any kind of location that the project demands or a company allocates to, or if you got trained in one skill track, in future you got a project in another skill track, are you willing to learn at that place. And basically you have to say yes to those things to get selected for the interview. If not, it's your thing, but get selected interview, you must say yes to those things. Okay. Once you're done with that, uh, you can at last you must ask the questions that you have prepared for the interviewer. And I have asked questions like, when will the result will come, and how I have performed on the interview. And that's the questions I have asked, and he has said that the interview result will not be depend on me, and there is another person who sees my in recording video, and he has to take the decision on should I hire you, should I hire me or not. And that's it. That's how my interview went. And to give you a timeline of my interview experience and Cognizant until onboarding, I got my registration done for Cognizant hiring for August 31st. Registration was done on August 31st. And I got my communication assessment on September 10th and aptitude on September 16th. I have done my technical in assessment on September 17th. My interview slot was booked on November 12th. And I got my LOI in SuperSet on November 29th. My offer letter for internship, I got it on December 10th. I was onboarded to virtual internship on December 19th. And that's my timeline until the onboarding process. And that's it. And if you want to know about my internship experiences, and what are the how my interview went in the internship, you can check videos in the YouTube, my channel. You can go and check there. And if you want more experiences like interview experiences and what I have my campus interview experiences, subscribe to my channel. And that's it. Bye.